Hello, marvelous friends! Once again, we're back with another Lovecraft horror species, the Cthulhi, the cosmic octopi, or the star spawn of the Cthulhi. These creatures have similarities with their leader, the Great Old One, but are they and these Cthulhi similar? What is a Cthulhi Mythos? We'll explain all that and more through this video. Those who have read Lovecraft and know his creatures and universe must have already glued themselves to their seats. For those who haven't, we've got to tell you that if you watch this video until then, you're going to experience a world of creatures filled with horror, mystery, and so much more. So, are you ready to explore with us? Before we get into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. What is Cthulhu Mythos? Before we start exploring the Cthulhi or the cosmic octopi, we first have to discuss the Cthulhu Mythos, which is a universe of elements, characters, settings, and themes that share some common traits and belong to the world of cosmic horror created by notable author H.P. Lovecraft. Also known as Lovecraftian horror, this is a subgenre of horror fiction and weird fiction about a world oblivious to humankind. It's a universe beyond supernatural elements, a universe of non-human, evil entities incomprehensible to humanity. Author August Derleth originally coined the term, although the legendary tales are also called the Lovecraft Mythos. The Cthulhu Mythos has also inspired other horror fiction writers to create stories that are a part of it. The fiction stories of the Cthulhu Mythos have two stages of development, as mentioned by Robert M. Price in his essay, H.P. Lovecraft and Cthulhu Mythos. The first stage formed during Lovecraft's lifetime when stories created under the mythos happened with Lovecraft's guidance. The latter stage took shape after Lovecraft's death, when writer August Derleth expanded the Cthulhu Mythos. Writer Richard L. Tierney later used the term Derleth Mythos to distinguish the works of Lovecraft from that of Derleth. Elements created by other authors related to the Lovecraft mythos weren't separate stories, but deliberately designed to be a part of the Cthulhu Mythos. For example, author Robert E. Howard and Lovecraft often used references or elements of each other's setting in their works, like Robert's The Children of the Night, where Friedrich Junst reads Lovecraft's Necronomicon. In turn, Lovecraft's Out of the Aeons and The Shadow Out of Time mention Robert's Unos Prickleichen Culten. Author David E. Schultz, a Lovecraft scholar, mentioned that Lovecraft never really meant to create a Cthulhu myth. His story's elements were meant to serve as a background element. Lovecraft used the term pseudo-mythology to describe the beings appearing in his tales as the backdrop, not the primary elements. Instead, towns like Arkham were the cornerstone of his stories, not entities like Cthulhu. Since Lovecraft created the non-human elements just as a background element, he might not have even meant to give them a name. The Cthulhu Mythos was purely coined by Derleth, who did not quite understand Lovecraft's vision, but gave his tales a name. Origin of the Cthulhi, the cosmic offspring. Cthulhi are an exciting species that appears in the Cthulhu Mythos. Cthulhi, named similarly to Cthulhu, also shares some very similar physical attributes to that of Cthulhu, the Great Old One, except that they're far smaller. Some theories suggest that Cthulhu might have spawned them, and that's why they're also known as the star spawn of Cthulhu. However, this isn't the only name attributed to them. They're also known as cosmic octopi and Zothians, and these species worship their leader, the Great Old One, or Cthulhu. They arrived at Earth at some point during the Paleozoic era and have waged war against the Elder Things. Despite their octopus-like appearance, these beings are actually land-based and not aquatic. They built cities on dry land destroyed by a catastrophic incident. Cthulhi were initially described as a land race of beings shaped like octopi and probably corresponding to the fabulous pre-human spawn of the Cthulhu. Some theories suggest that the Cthulhi race traveled through the stars and stopped at many planets before arriving at Earth to rule with their god, the great dreamer Cthulhu. The star spawn's malleable physique suggests that they might have some shape-shifting abilities, as they could go under transformations that were impossible by the Elder Things. They created many cities on Earth and places for their god Cthulhu to slumber. History of the Cthulhi explored. The origins of the star spawn could be more precise. Cthulhu might have spawned them, or maybe they're a completely different alien race. The star spawn's arrival on Earth was sudden. They came from a completely unknown space and began a war against the Elder Things, who were already ruling the Earth at that point. The star spawn slowly took control, and the Elder Things came to a settlement. The star spawns would rule over the lands of the Earth, while the Elder Things took the oceans. During the reign of the star spawns, many cities were built. After a period of prosperity and a sudden unknown catastrophic incident, the towns, including the city of Early A, sank into the deep sea along with the star spawn species. Theories are that the star spawn race perished in the sea waters or may have gone into a deep slumber state just like their god Cthulhu. However, it is unclear whether Cthulhu was present all this time or whether he joined at the bottom of the ocean later. The Elder Things regained control over the Earth as the star spawn ceased to exist. Behind the mythos. Several facts and fiction are associated with this Cthulhu mythos, the first related to the term Cthulhi's coinage. So it was Brian Lumley who first gave these cosmic octopi the name Cthulhi. Although we call it an octopus, Lovecraft never gives a detailed physical description of this creature, so it's challenging enough for us to get a distinct picture of this creature in our head because we need to know how much they are akin to an octopus or a humanoid. Is their physical appearance similar to the Great Old One? Why do we say that? No, we don't say or infer that. However, cultist Castro drew a similarity between the Great Old One and Cthulhi in Call of Cthulhu. According to him, Cthulhu leads the Great Old Ones and they all lie and sleep with him in the early A. Since the inception of this theory, many authors, including August Derleth, started referring to the Cthulhu mythos as something closer to or about the cosmic pantheon and not something relevant to the star spawn. However, exceptions are always there, and in this case, authors like Brian Lumley are an exception, as he and authors like him thought star spawns themselves were the Great Old Ones and not someone from the Servitor race. Now, let's move on to the star spawn colonization of the Earth. Here you've got two theories. The first is from At the Mountains of Madness, which states that the colonization occurred long after the moon's formation. However, this theory is negated in the transition of Titus Crow. It implies that Cthulhi existed on Earth long before the moon was ripped off from the Pacific Ocean with some of their settlements. Moreover, the theory also states that since Cthulhi can affect the minds of other beings, it proves the moon's association with lunacy or insanity and solves the mystery behind dogs and wolves shouting or howling at the moon. Delving deeper into the Cthulhu mythos, we uncover yet another fascinating aspect. Did you know that Cthulhu has progeny? According to Lynn Carter's Zothic legend cycle, the spawn of Cthulhu comprises three sons of Cthulhu and Idya, Gatanathoa, Ythogtha, and Zothomog. Carter rarely refers to the Cthulhi species in his fiction, except for his work Papyrus of the Dark Wisdom, where he suggests that the Cthulhi are also from the Zoth. This raises the question, are the Cthulhi species the offspring of Cthulhu and Idya? Sadly, Carter hadn't answered this in his works. The spawn of Cthulhu are mentioned in the comic book series Worlds of H.P. Lovecraft, where they are regarded as the Deep Ones. The White Apes come to the intermediary stage while transforming into a Deep One from a human. So that's just a few of the facts about the Cthulhi mythos, and we hope you enjoyed them. Marvelous verdict! And on that note, we've come to the end of this video. We hope you enjoyed watching it as much as we enjoyed making it. What are your thoughts on these cosmic octopi or the star spawn of Cthulhu? Do you think they're really related? Do you have any other theories? Because we'd love to hear them. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and also let us know if you want us to explore anything more from this universe or mythos. We're always looking for new ideas for videos. This is Wizard Wheezy signing off, but if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, stay safe out there, and have a marvelous day.